As a workers' comp attorney, I've had the opportunity to represent nurses many times over the years. Nurses sometimes present a unique challenge. The thing about nursing work, for anybody who's in it, they'll realize that there are many hazards. Now, let's think about some of them that result in work injuries. Nurses are often doing a lot of heavy lifting. Nurse assistants also, and that results in a lot of back injuries. They're on their feet generally all day, and that presents some issues too. People will get injuries related to just walking. There's a reason that nurses wear comfortable shoes, and the other problem is when nurses do get hurt, and there's an opportunity to return back to their floor or to their job, it's often the walking and the standing on an 8 to 10 hour basis that prevents them from doing that. So some of the other hazards in nursing are certainly being around the hospital, around sickness, and we saw this with COVID, of course. Many nurses contracted COVID, and of course, under the right circumstances, that's a work injury. There are other infectious diseases they are exposed to, of course, like MRSA, very terrible infection they can get from their patients. Sometimes there are needle sticks. There's issues about communicable diseases like AIDS. And one of the other things that's a terrible risk for nurses, depending on the facility, often the patients are violent. So I've represented a lot of nurses who've been assaulted by either a mental patient or just someone who is geriatric and senile leads them to strike out. Now, one of the things I've learned over the years that nurses, once they get to be a certain age and they've had a work injury, I'll often talk to them about transitioning back to another line of work. Fortunately, especially if they have a bachelor's or a master's in nursing, they can become a white-collar worker and sit in an office. And if they can settle their workers' comp case and transition to that type of work, it really will extend their career in nursing without them having to visit patients, change bedpans, lift people, or do any of that regular nursing requires. So, if you are injured in nursing, you certainly need representation, and I can guide you through the process.